this energy. Through the glass walls I could see my father, William Cartwright, shifting uncomfortably in his expensive suit, the same one he'd worn when he laughed at my business plan last Christmas. "Mr. Cartwright?" My assistant Rachel called out. "Miss Chin will see you now." I watched him flinch slightly at my married name, the one he'd mocked when I chose to keep it after my divorce instead of returning to proper family branding. My phone buzzed. Cartwright Industries stock down another 15%. Desperate for capital injection. "Sarah," he managed as he entered, trying to maintain his CEO composure. "You're looking well." I gestured to the chair across from my desk, remembering his words from last year. "A tech startup? At your age? Don't be ridiculous, princess. Stick to what you know." "Thank you for meeting with me," he started, his rehearsed speech ready. "As you may have heard, Cartwright Industries is exploring strategic partnership opportunities." "You mean you're 3 months from bankruptcy and desperately need investors," I corrected quietly, pulling up their financial records on my screen. He paled slightly. "How did you know?" I smiled. "The same way I knew your infrastructure was outdated last year when I offered to modernize your systems. The same way I knew your refusal to adapt to digital transformation would cost you market share." My phone lit up again, acquisition papers ready. "Waiting for your signal." "Now, Sarah," he shifted into his patronizing father tone, "I know we had our disagreements about your career choices. But surely we can put that aside for family." "Family?" I raised an eyebrow. "Like when you told the entire country club I was having a midlife crisis by starting my own company? Or when you warned potential clients away from working with me?" He had the grace to look embarrassed. I was trying to protect you." "No," I said firmly, "you were trying to control me. To force me back into the safe, predictable corporate path you'd planned. How's that working out?" Opening my laptop, I displayed Chin Technologies' latest market valuation, $3.2 billion. His eyes widened as he took in the numbers. The same numbers he'd dismissed as unrealistic projections when I'd presented my business plan. But you work from home sometimes. In casual clothes. You drive a normal car." "Because success isn't about showing off," I replied. "It's about building something meaningful while others are busy maintaining appearances." My phone buzzed. "Board meeting in 10 minutes. They're ready for your decision." "Now," I pulled out the contract his board had practically begged me to consider. "Let's discuss exactly how much your family legacy is worth to you. Sometimes the best revenge isn't proving them wrong. It's becoming their last hope while they're still busy underestimating you. And I was just getting started." The look on his face as I set the contract aside told me he finally understood. His company's survival now depended entirely on his daughter's signature. The same daughter he'd told to stick to what you know. I did stick to what I knew. I knew exactly how to build an empire while you were busy laughing at my dreams. The silence in my office was thick with 2 decades of dismissal and underestimation. My father stared at the contract on my desk, $200 million in exchange for controlling interest in Cartwright Industries. "This is aggressive," he finally managed, tugging at his collar. "Like telling the board I was too emotional to handle technology investments?" I replied, pulling up more documents. "Or like warning your golf buddies that working with my little startup would be career suicide?" My phone buzzed. Cartwright Industries' largest client requesting emergency meeting with Chin Technologies. "Sarah, please," he leaned forward, desperation cracking his veneer. "The company, your grandfather's legacy." "My grandfather's legacy?" I laughed softly. "The same legacy you used to justify ignoring every modernization proposal I made? The same legacy that's now losing $2 million a week because you refuse to adapt." Opening another file, I displayed Cartwright Industries' falling stock prices alongside Chin Technologies' soaring valuation. "While you were protecting legacy," I continued, "I was building the future. Every client you warned away from me? Now desperately trying to work with Chin Technologies. Every investor you told I was playing business? Now begging for meetings." He slumped slightly, his carefully maintained posture cracking. "I didn't know." "No," I cut in, "you didn't want to know. Because knowing would mean admitting that your daughter understood modern business better than you did." My phone lit up again. Market rumors of acquisition driving Cartwright stock lower. Board demanding immediate action. The terms are simple, I said, sliding the contract forward. Chin Technologies takes controlling interest. Complete digital transformation. Merit-based management structure. Merit-based, he sputtered. But the family positions will be evaluated like everyone else, I finished firmly. Amazing how much talent you find when you stop promoting based on last names. Standing, I moved to the window overlooking the city, my city now in many ways. You have two choices, Dad. Sign the contract and let me save your company, or watch it collapse under the weight of its own outdated thinking. And if I sign? He asked quietly. Then Cartwright Industries joins the future, I replied. Though you might want to update your resume. CEO positions in my companies require actual digital literacy. My phone buzzed. PR team ready for announcement. Market expecting news before closing. You'd remove me as CEO? He whispered, the reality finally hitting him. Like you removed me from succession planning when I suggested modernizing? I asked calmly. Or like when you told the board I lacked the strength for executive leadership? Moving back to my desk, I straightened my simple blazer. The same style he'd criticized as unprofessional last year. Ironic, isn't it? The daughter you thought needed protecting now owns enough technology infrastructure to buy your company 10 times over. From your home office, he added bitterly. In jeans sometimes. Because success isn't about corner offices and power suits, I smiled. It's about understanding that the future belongs to those who adapt. Something Cartwright Industries should have learned years ago. The contract sat between us like a bridge between two worlds, his fading corporate dynasty and my rising digital empire. Time's running out, I noted, checking my watch. A simple model that had survived every deal I'd ever closed. Your board's patience, much like your market value, is dropping by the minute. He reached for the pen, hand shaking slightly. I never thought that I'd succeed without your approval? That I'd build something bigger than Cartwright Industries could imagine? That the daughter you laughed at would end up owning your legacy? That you'd be so ruthless, he finished. Ruthless? I raised an eyebrow. Just successful. On my own terms, in my own way, wearing whatever I damn well please. The pen hovered over the signature line as 2 decades of patriarchal certainty crumbled in real time. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just saving their company, it's making them realize that success never needed their permission or their dress code. And I did it all while they thought I was just another failed executive playing startup founder. Because sometimes, the biggest power move is letting them laugh until you own their entire world. The news of Chin Technologies' acquisition of Cartwright Industries broke during the evening business reports. I sat in my home office, the same space my father had once called my little hobby room, watching the market react. My phone hadn't stopped buzzing. Messages from family members who suddenly remembered my existence, executives who'd dismissed me now desperately trying to save their positions, and my father's country club friends scrambling to connect on LinkedIn. Miss Chin. Rachel's voice came through the intercom. The board is assembled for the transition meeting. Thank you, I replied, straightening my casual blazer over jeans, my signature look that had scandalized the traditional business community. My phone lit up. Cartwright Industries stock up 45% on acquisition news. Chin Technologies reaching new record highs. Walking into the boardroom virtually because I'd insisted on modern conferencing capabilities, I saw my father sitting among his former executives, no longer at the head of the table. Good evening, I began, watching their faces on the screen. Let's discuss the future of Cartwright Industries. Sarah, my father started, perhaps we should wait for you to arrive in person. This is my arrival, I replied calmly. Welcome to modern business, where success isn't measured by hours spent in mahogany offices. Opening my presentation, I displayed the company's new structure. First change. All positions will be reviewed for relevance in a digital economy. Those unable to adapt will be offered generous retirement packages. The room erupted in nervous whispers. These men had never had their positions questioned, their expertise evaluated, their worth measured by actual results. But the traditional ways. One executive protested. Lost us $50 million last year, I finished. Tradition is wonderful for family photos. For business, we follow data. My phone buzzed. First wave of tech integration teams ready to deploy. Second change, I continued. Mandatory digital literacy training for all management. Yes, that includes learning to use more than just email. My father's face flushed. He'd once proudly declared that real business happens on golf courses, not computers. Third, the corporate headquarters will be converted to a hybrid workspace. The private dining room? Now a coding lab. The executive golf simulator? Digital Innovation Center. But where will we entertain clients? Someone asked in horror. In the virtual reality conference spaces, I smiled. Though you might want to learn how to log in first. Moving to the next slide, I watched their faces as they realized the full scope of the transformation. Their wood-paneled world of traditional business was about to enter the 21st century, whether they liked it or not. One more thing, I added. The dress code is abolished. Results matter more than suits. My father actually gasped. But professionalism is measured by performance, not clothing, I cut in. Amazing how much talent you find when you stop judging people by their outfit choices. My phone lit up again. First round of efficiency reports ready. 30% of executive positions flagged as redundant. Now, I straighten my casual blazer. Those interested in being part of the future can start by downloading our digital transformation app. Those who prefer the old way, HR will be in touch about retirement options. The silence was deafening. These men who'd laughed at my startup, who'd dismissed my warnings about digital disruption, who'd mocked my casual business style, all now realizing their futures depended on adapting to my vision. Oh, and Dad, I added softly. Remember when you said I'd never understand real business because I preferred coding to golf? The algorithm I wrote that day just calculated which executive positions to eliminate first. The look on his face was priceless. Sometimes the best revenge isn't just taking over their company, it's forcing them to adapt to the future they mocked. And I did it all from my home office in my casual clothes, building an empire while they were busy protecting their outdated traditions. Because sometimes, the biggest power move is letting them cling to their past until you own their future. My phone buzzed one final time. Digital transformation of Cartwright Industries trending on Business News. Your father's golf club membership status revoked. Success, it turns out, doesn't need their approval, their dress code, or their country club membership. It just needs vision, determination, and the patience to let them laugh